the AIMIM writing a letter to the Telangana speaker. So the AIMIM has petitioned the speaker for the expulsion of Raja Singh. Two-letter page that has been written, and a two-page letter that has been written to the speaker, and Times Now has also accessed this. But the question, of course, being why the AIMIM is not calling out the threat chants being given out on the streets. Madhav is joining us with those details. Madhav, if you can get us the details of the letter that has been written, AIMIM calling for not just the suspension but the expulsion of the BJP MLA.
Well, absolutely. In fact, they are calling for the suspension of the BJP MLA, and in fact, they are demanding action as far as this individual is concerned. But the question is this: on the one hand, you are seeing the MIM demand action against Raja Singh, but what about their own leaders who are protesting in this particular manner? Are they going to allow for these kind of protests? Are they also going to come out and say, like we've seen other members of parliament in the past, that this is natural? And the reason that MIM is particularly questions are being raised off, and this is politically sensitive, is that we have seen in the past how a member of parliament of the MIM itself demanded the hanging of a BJP spokesperson who made those controversial remarks in the first place, that is Nupur Sharma. So clearly, when members of parliament, when elected leaders, when leaders of mainstream political parties start making such demand, it certainly is going to raise such serious questions about whether these leaders ultimately believe in the rule of law, believe in the constitution, and of course are demanding this kind of action which is outside of the purview of the law and the legal system in this country.
That's right, and it's not just on the streets. We're getting some breaking news now coming in. Advocate Karuna Sagar, who took up the case of the BJP suspended MLA, also receiving threat calls, and this is from unknown numbers. So the lawyer who took up the case is also now receiving threats. Madhav continues to be live with us. So Madhav, this is the update coming in that the advocate who is representing the suspended BJP MLA also receiving threats now.
Well, yes, this is the information coming in at this point of time. This is Advocate Karuna Sagar, who has taken up the case of the suspended MLA Raja Singh receiving two threatening calls from unknown numbers. Now, this is, of course, certainly something that many would raise questions of. At the end of the day, in a legal process, everybody is entitled to legal representation. We have seen how even terrorists, dreaded terrorists such as Kasab, end of the day, have received legal representation. Whatever be the crime, at the end of the day, the job of the lawyers is to defend those who are accused. Apart from the prosecution itself, there have to be a fair trial and a free trial that has to be given if we have to have a fair judicial system. In this particular case, the fact that threat calls are being given at the end of the day will once again underline the fact that those individuals who are protesting on this issue, whether they are trying to use some kind of extra legal or extra constitutional means to try and browbeat this particular MLA who has made these comments. Certainly those comments are extremely controversial, unacceptable, and whatever punishment is required as per the law has to take its action. But can citizens now start taking law into their own hands? That's certainly a very pertinent question that comes out of all of this.
That's right. Madhav, thank you for joining us with those details. In fact, let's take this across to guests joining us on the broadcast. Anurag Naidu, author, as well as Mir Inayat Ali Bakri, leader of the TRS, joining us. Thank you. Let me start with, asking, you saw the kind of visuals that played out, and it's very, very frightening. Sar Tan Se Juda chants, police officials there unable to take any action, turned into mere mute spectators. Mir Inayat, is this the kind of image you want Hyderabad to have?
Madam, firstly, already MIM President Barrister Aswaduddin Owaisi says nobody will be nobody in power to say against the law and against of the rule of the government of India, and as per the rule, the police will be going to take the action against these persons. Anybody, a corporator or MLA or MP, everybody.
Let me just give you a reality check. It's one thing to say that action will be taken. To give you a reality check, it's been several hours, over 12 hours now. Not even one case has been filed in the case.
Now all the Muslims are saying the same. After the booking of book that you are already booked the case against of the Raja Singh, then the court will release him all immediate same day. So all are Muslims also angry against the government also. The government is going to favor of the publics only. So actually the government
of India. So if the BJP MLA is released within few hours, he faced the court and he was given bail. But now you have murderous chants being given out, no action being taken after several hours. Anurag Naidu, the defense that's come in is that, look at that, BJP MLA also walked out after a few hours in jail. So why should these people be booked just for giving out these murderous chants on the streets?
So I said this yesterday on the show as well, and I say it again. If we are very passionate about pursuing the case in social interest, people like them, they should approach the court, stand again, file a review petition, because he was not left scot-free by the police on their own. He was presented in front of the judge, and there was a judgment given, and based on the evidences and the FIR which was filed, the decision was taken. See, again, all I'm saying is nobody has the right to comment anything on anyone's religious belief. It's a crime of the highest order, and India do not stand for that. India stands for unity and religious harmony, and we will always support that. But the point is, nobody can take law into their hand. We should not set this precedence, and we should not encourage people. And I appreciate when Mr. Owaisi also has spoken out, but it is unfortunately his own party workers on the street. And I believe Mr. Owaisi again should speak out to them in a much tougher voice, and at least let this entire issue come down, because let's not forget, AIMIM is one of the most formidable political force when it comes to Hyderabad and Secunderabad, and whatever message given by Mr. Owaisi will matter a lot. I think a lot also rests with the social responsibilities of AIMIM, and I think it's time for them to showcase it and let the peace and harmony be restored, and then let's have faith in the judicial system.
The question is, has it happened? Because the AIMIM leaders in several of the cases, cooperators who are leading these mobs, let's play that out, how the kind of murderous chants were given out on the streets in Hyderabad. Take a look at this.
रसूल की है कि सदा गुस्ताख रसूल की है कि सदा गुस्ताख रसूल की है कि सदा गुस्ताख रसूल से है कि सदा
These were the kind of chants that were given out, and in several of the videos, as you saw, police officials are present there, but clearly there's no fear of law at all. Thanking our guests for joining us. We'll of course continue tracking the latest on that. As of now, no case has been filed despite open threats being given. We're slipping into a short break here. Be right back.